Hey guys, today I'm going to help answer the question that I know you all are wanting to know. How do I shorten my labor? Because nobody wants to labor for a long time. Now, I will also say that the goal is not necessarily to labor for a short time either. I feel like a good balanced labor is a labor that lasts 8 to 12 hours. That gives your body a chance to kind of go through each step of labor and you don't feel overwhelmed. Sometimes with precipitous labor, it's nice that it's over and done with quickly, but sometimes everything happens so fast that coping measures are hard to use. So don't so much think about, I want to have the shortest labor possible. I want to be in labor for half an hour and have my baby. I don't want you to be thinking about that. I want you to be thinking about, how can I have a confident labor? How can I have a restful labor? So those are more the goals. But all of these things that typically we see shortening labor, they also help make your labor just go more smoothly. So it's a win-win all around. First is dates. I want you to be eating dates, especially starting 36 weeks and on. Dates are super packed with all sorts of amazing things for your uterus, and it makes a powerful uterus. It makes a confident uterus. Having a doula is also another good thing you can do. Doula care is different doula to doula. You're gonna have doulas that are more hands-on during pregnancy. You're gonna have doulas that are more hands-on during birth. You're gonna have doulas that are more hands-on during postpartum. Every doula has a different style. Every doula has different training. Some have just the labor and birth training. Some have additional training, such as spinning babies or pelvic floor experience. Like, there's all sorts of different kinds of things. So it's relatively easy to find a doula that fits you perfectly and what your needs are. So really write down, what are my needs? What are some areas that I need to be empowered in my labor and birth? And find a doula that fits that. There's also lots of different ways to receive doula care. Some doulas offer one-on-one childbirth classes where they can really dig deep into some things that will help you and your partner work through your labor and birth. Now, that's not going to help you with, if your birth goes in different directions than physiologically normal. That's more going to be like, these are the things that coping measures, positions that we can try, different things like that. That will empower you that way. But having that real-time, in-person advice to how to apply the things that you've learned, that won't be there with just a childbirth class. But just a childbirth class is still an amazing and powerful and wonderful thing. So you can do that. You can have a doula at your birth in person, or you can have someone supporting you virtually. This is someone who's calling and texting you suggestions and advice. You can video call with them. Lots of different ways to do that. So don't picture a doula as one thing, because there's so many of us and we all do things differently and we all have different things to bring to the table. And lastly, don't think that, oh, I can't have a doula because of finances. There are many doula organizations and individual doulas like myself who really help families be able to afford. And if you donate to my ministry, you help me offer low-income services to families all over the United States and beyond. So keep that in mind as well. Another thing that can help you have a shorter labor and birth is jasmine essential oil. I recommend mixing it with a carrier oil and rubbing it all over your belly and on your wrists and your ankles, starting at 38 weeks and beyond. Jasmine oil can sometimes trigger mild contractions. The odds that it will trigger labor is very, very low, but I still don't like to see you using it before we're sure that baby is ready to come out. So I don't want to see you putting on your belly at 34 weeks because we don't want to encourage that baby to come too soon. So starting at 38 weeks beyond, you can start slathering your belly with it. It does not trigger labor, like I said, but it is statistically proven to shorten your labor. So that's a good one. Another thing you might think about is that hydration is also shown to shorten labor. When you are dehydrated, you don't have as much energy, your tissues are not as flexible, your everything is just not as good. And also, how much hydration you have can to some degree influence the amniotic fluid in your uterus. So you don't want to be having low fluid, because that can also make it hard for baby to rotate and do the things they need to do. So stay hydrated. Getting good sleep is also very helpful for shortening your labor. I want to see you getting as much rest as possible. And I know that that can feel overwhelming, because even if you're a first-time mom, you've got things to do. And if you've got kids and when are you gonna nap? When are you gonna get their laundry done? Most of the chores around your home can wait. Most of the chores around your home can be done by someone else, even if not as well, They can be done. So really lean into your help, ask for people to support you so that you can get the rest that you need. You want to have an empowering birth experience so that you can have an empowering postpartum experience. So lean into that rest. Also, please check out spinningbabies.com. They are an amazing website that has created tons of different exercises and positions, and they even have recommendations for when to use them. So if you're in labor and you've been stuck at baby being at a -2 station for hours and hours, you can look up on Spinning Baby's website, what do I do when baby's stuck at -2? And they will have exercises and recommendations that you can use. And there's a good chance that your doula knows about spinning babies and has some idea on how to use those techniques. So you can ask your doula, say, hey, do you know anything about spinning babies? And you guys can work through that stuff together. So. Being active and not being stagnant can also shorten your labor. And I think when we picture being active, we're picturing a woman who goes to the gym 3 times a week and she goes on a walk every evening. You know, she's cooking dinner like this, like superwoman, right? That's not necessarily the case. Again, it's really just not sitting or laying or doing anything, a lot of anything. Even if I worked at a cash register, standing in one position all day, not great for my body. Now, technically I'm active. I'm not sitting around or laying around, but because I'm not moving and being flexible, that causes imbalances in my body and causes tension. And that leads me to the next really helpful thing is pelvic floor therapy. Pelvic floor therapy is awesome because you might be dealing with 1 or 2 issues. Your pelvic floor might be too tight. Your pelvic floor might be too loose. So knowing how to work with your pelvic floor is really awesome. And it's not as simple as just doing your Kegels. Sometimes, a lot of times, we're doing Kegels incorrectly, or we're using Kegel as a catch-all healing thing that we might not necessarily need. So be sure to at least have one session with a pelvic floor therapist and get some advice on how you can work on your specific situation with your pelvic floor. And lastly, the favorite, red raspberry leaf tea. Red raspberry leaf tea is amazing. I recommend it to all my clients. And some people they're not jazzed about the taste. Keep in mind you can add flavorings to it. You can even add hydration multiplier to your red raspberry leaf tea, and it covers up a lot of the flavor. Some people I've also recommended who they couldn't find a way to cover it up that they liked, I recommended that they just brew a very strong cup of it, like put 3 or 4 tea bags into a shot glass and just brew a really strong cup and then just chug it and then drink something after. So it's so helpful. Find any way you can get into your diet as possible. Honestly, you could even just add a tea bag of it to, you know, your dinner, like your pasta sauce, like any way you can get it in, the better, because it is just that amazing. You can drink it hot, drink it cold, you can sip on it all day, you can drink it in one time. It's just awesome. So be sure to do things for yourself to empower you to feel more confident about going into your birth, that it's going to be a good length of time and you're going to feel healthy and strong through the whole process.